Behind the scenes?
Yep.
I think it's time to start bringing this project down the home stretch.
Oh, it is.
You know what the biggest decision we may have left on this whole thing? It's what color we're going to paint it.
Yeah, too bad it's done going to be painted before everybody agrees with me. We need to have the red and white.
I'm pretty sure that's not going to be an issue because nobody's going to agree with you on that. All right, it is time to move into the fine details of this project, and we got a lot of them. Let's get started. All right, this is what I got in mind first, Mr. Man behind the scenes. The first thing we need to address is we got some very vulnerable hoses right here.
Yeah.
And this thing's gonna be 20, 30, 40 feet up in the air, depending on the machine swinging around. And, well, stuff happens.
Yeah.
So, I'm thinking, obviously we need to build some sort of cover. I got some brackets made to hold these in place going down the booms. We need to be something to cover up this, don't you think?
Yep.
And it'll also cover up this. So we want to attach it to this, so whenever we unbolt this, this all comes off together.
I really like that idea you had. That'll make it nice.
Who had it? And what did you do?
That was your idea. I'll give you
One of these days, I'm going to put a compilation together of you're right and great idea of mine.
No, I will agree with you. I'm willing to compromise with you. You have a hard time compromising with people. Me.
Well, it's hard to compromise when you're always right.
No, yeah.
That's a joke, people. That's a joke. All right, I'll tell you what. Why don't you grab that piece of metal on the floor?
That's what I walked over there looking for.
Well, well, because it works better if it's got footprints on it.
So this is the piece we've got.
Yeah.
This is not the piece I want. I want something a little bit wider. So, are you wanting to go straight up, or are you wanting to put an angle on it?
I mean, if I had all these answers, I was thinking starting off with this on the side, drawing some fancy little profile.
Yeah, do the sides first then?
Yeah, because...
well, you got to figure out how far you want to go back too, though.
Yeah, yep. It's like them yuppies, yep.
Hey, you sound like me. That's my word, not yours.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
A lot of comments. Is that the only word he knows? Yeah.
No, it's yeah.
Well, whenever you're working for a guy.
Yep.
Whenever you're working for a guy that's always right, all you got to do is agree.
Oh, man.
It's another joke, people. Calm down.
Trust me, it is a joke.
You know, everybody that comes to visit us is like, you guys really are the same off camera as you on camera.
Yeah.
Actually,
yeah.
It's a little more PG on camera, but it's the same. It's the same banter. All right. Do we need to turn into an artist?
Yeah. Show them your good artist skills you've got. Kind of like your spelling. And they know how your spelling is.
Oh, yeah, that's bad. Hey, but I've proved you don't have to spell to make money.
Very true, very true.
I can add commas. I can't spell commas, but I can add them to my bank account.
Yeah.
You got us way off track.
Yeah.
And my phone is...
Tell me where you want this back. I'll hold it, and then you mark it
Well,
out.
let me ask you this. How far is it from here to here?
Well, I can't see. I got a plate in my way. Now, I ain't got a tape measure, but I'm going to guess that that's about 4.5 inches.
Do we need to go back as far as we go forward?
Make it look right, yeah. So, let's just say, so what are you thinking on the back? So that is, what'd I say, 4.5, 5 inches? It is 5 inches.
Okay. So you were close. I ain't going to say you're right. You were close.
As many gaps that I've got welded, they're about a half-inch gap. So,
goodness.
I mean, if I say I need it cut at 4.5 inches, you cut it at 4 inches, I got a half-inch gap.
Are you done yet?
What I'm getting at is my 4.5, 5 is right on the money. But anyway, so this would be like 4 inches back. Do we want to go that far?
I think that's good.
4 inches. Right. So then we want to go 4 inches past. So that would put us at 13 inches.
I don't think we need to go 4 inches past, do we? I thought we'd just go to right here.
Well, 10 inches will take you right here.
Then how tall we need to be?
Then height-wise, to be, so that's up to you how high you want it. That's 3 inches right there in the middle of my finger.
How tall is this?
That is 4 inches.
4 inches?
Yeah.
4 inches is too tall, ain't it?
Yeah, I mean, I'd like to keep it as low as we can.
Yeah.
3 inches was keeping it off quite a bit.
Okay. All right. Well, let's do
I
some
want it to be as aerodynamic as
aerodynamic as this thing is whistling through the air.
Yeah.
We're supposed to cut trees, not whack them out. All right. Let's do some fancy drawing and see what we come up with.
All right.
Not for sure why I thought it was a good idea to be human vice. Genius. That's backwards.
Huh, I ain't looking right.
Let's get this backwards.
Oh, yeah.
That profile is really nice.
Yeah. That is. So,
We can slide that back just a little bit right there.
are you for sure?
Yep. Because I got this point right here lined up with that.
Okay. All right. I like it.
So basically we need to cut a second one of those
Yep.
and then
Make her top.
make our tops. Well, do we want to make a bulkhead right here? So we don't have a little cavity back here and add a little strength to it? Or do you think it matters? I tell you what we're gonna do, folks. Is we're gonna finish cutting out the pieces to our puzzle, and then we'll get you guys back when we go to tack this all together. What do you think?
Yeah. Yeah, we got some arguing to do.
Productive arguing.
Yeah.
Got 2 questions for you.
2 questions.
1, what order do you want to put your puzzle together in? And 2, the more important question, do you read French?
No, I do not read French.
So what was his name? Leo?
Leo, yeah. From
Leo,
Canada.
Leo from Canada came down to visit, and he brought us Canadian Pepsis.
And Mountain Dews.
And Mountain
Dews.
And along with American, or English on the back, they got French as well.
Yeah.
It tastes slightly different, but it's still the
Slightly
same good
different.
taste.
So his question was, he wanted to know what tastes better, American Pepsi or Canadian Pepsi?
You may not want me to answer that question.
Oh, yeah?
They're both still good, though. Actually, that one tastes better because it's free.
Yeah.
You know, if I had to buy one, I don't know.
Yeah.
But no, we do greatly appreciate that. So
Yeah, we do.
all right, do you think you want to weld our sides on first?
Yeah, I'd like to get the sides on first.
So I am grabbing this in a totally wrong spot, because that is right where you're wanting to weld at.
Yeah. So now, just gotta get that as true as we can. I'm not gonna touch it. No
All
way you
right,
can do that.
just give me a little tacky.
All right. Eyeballs.
Okay, so now.
Ouch. You know what? I ain't gonna lie, I think we could probably tack all of it together. Because when we take this off, I'll just take this off to weld it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So
Your next move needs to be to tack that.
right there?
I'm gonna slide that in just a little bit. Does that hurt you?
No?
Try that.
Eyeballs. Get it on the top.
Let me just double check here before you get too carried away. Yeah, I think so.
I'm gonna tack this top
All
there.
right. You wanna come on around and tack all this?
Yep.
That puts together nice, don't it?
Yeah, it does. Eyeballs.
Ow, it's hot.
Eyeballs.
Look at the hole? You just burnt my pants.
Oh man, yeah. You like it?
Yep. All right, so then, there you got it. So this should fit up here.
Whoops.
Should fit.
Like it?
Tack it back here, and then I'll have to do some maneuver on the front. We got eyeballs.
Oh, eyeballs.
I mean, that looks pretty doggone good.
Yeah. You like it?
Yep.
That's get tack back here. Like this.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's the one thing that could be.
Does this need to go up any? No.
Oh, that's good.
Good.
It needs to go in.
Yeah.
I don't want to get that too tight though, so it'll make it hard to get that other
Yeah.
one on there. I think go with it.
Go with it.
Yeah. All right, that is all tacked together. Man, that fit up nice, didn't it?
Yeah, it did.
Would you just look at that fit job, would you? We're just gonna ignore that weld. We're just gonna
Ignore that.
I like it.
All right.
I should serve all the purposes. We put that clamp right here. That's gonna keep them hoses from rubbing on that. I don't think that's enough of a gap to worry about. This should come off with that, so everything's accessible to get them come out of there.
Unless I weld it completely out.
Do not
Then
do
you
that.
ain't getting it out
Do
all.
not do that. I like it.
Good.
All right, while here's welding that up, we need to get back onto our broom project. If you guys remember, we stole the hydraulic motor and the coupler off this thing. We're trying to convert it back to 3-point hitch. The one thing we need is the power takeoff shaft, which I have a random one laying around. It actually come off the side mount brush hog, which is now on the 120. I'm hoping we can retrofit that to work on here, but we need to get this hooked up and see if we got a chance to make it work. You guys are gonna have to forgive me. I don't remember the class of PTOs right off the top of my head, but I think it's like a class 5. It's for like a 60 or 70 horsepower tractor plus. Obviously this little guy don't have it, but these PTO shafts are expensive. This thing's not gonna get used a whole lot, so I'm just trying to reuse what I got to make it work. And I think it's gonna work. It's gonna be long enough. We got the length we need to have the proper overlap in our slip joint right here. The thing we're gonna have to do is switch out this end for a new yoke that hopefully we can find that has a 1-inch shaft, because the 1-inch shaft's what goes into this gearbox right here. So we're gonna bust this yoke off. We'll head to town, see if we can find what we need. Hopefully swap this out, and then we can reuse everything but that. All right, plan B, guys. We may just go absolute full commit down the money saving route. Let me tell you what I'm talking about. I've got these 2 yokes right here, which are both 1.5-inch shafts, but they're their own class size universals. But I was looking at this one here has a machined surface right here. So I'm thinking about cutting one of these collars off right here, machining a surface that'll fit down in there. And long story short, that should be our guide. We'll just weld this collar onto that, and whammo bammo, we just saved us some money. Well, look at that sexy thing.
Clean up that guard. That's gonna be probably the most heaviest duty guard I've ever seen made right there, bud.
That's good news, because you've seen us operate.
I seen you operate. You're right. You. Everybody else takes care of stuff. You destroy it.
Name it.
Huh?
Last person
Every piece of equipment.
last person that had a broken piece of equipment in here that was destroyed was you, and it was a window.
Well, I thought being it was a military dozer would have been military class.
See, that's where you made us some. I thought since we painted the tile plow military green, it was military grade too, but it wasn't. All right, I'm gonna go full commit on some total. What's the word I'm looking for? Creative engineering. How's that sound?
Yeah. That's scary.
I'm behind the scenes, my project's looking absolutely questionable at best. Oh, what you doing over there, bud?
My project ain't going so good. I told you to tighten these up for me.
I did. I tightened the ones up on my stool.
Times, and it's on video, and you didn't do it.
Mine's in perfect shape.
This takes a little time doing this.
All right. Well, I'm gonna press my luck at the old machining again. No promises. I'm 2 for 2. 3 for 3 is a stretch. All right, so here's the plan, guys. Got this chucked up in the lathe. What I'm gonna try to do is face this, get it back to a smooth, straight surface. Then we need to cut an 1.5 inch collar on this thing, about 1/4 inch deep, which should in turn slide into that collar over there and align everything to where we can weld it off. So we'll use a piece of high-speed steel here just to try to get that down close, and we'll put a good piece of tool in there and try to polish it off. Let's see what happens. All right, man, behind the scenes. Here's what I ended up with.
Oh yeah, that looks good. Like it came from a machine shop.
Like it's made together. So in theory, what we're hoping is that collar will fit down this machine groove right here from where they machine this.
Yep.
We'll weld it off. So.
Oh. Does it fit?
It's a tight fit too.
Yes. Leaves that little bit of gap all the way around for me to get.
Now you want to leave that gap, or you want me to machine that off?
I'd rather leave that gap.
Really?
I get better weld on it then.
So
I feel better about it.
We know it's centered because it's tight in the groove. It should be true because this face is sitting on that face.
Yeah. So it's just pretty well cleaning that up and be ready to weld it out.
Is it fair to say it's idiot proof?
Yeah, it is. It is.
We're probably pushing our luck, but we'll go with it. All right.
All right.
Saving money already.
Yes, we are.
All right, you think we can do the same theory we did on the other ones?
I hope so, because that worked out great.
And bolt this in there for you. Ooh. It'll be close, but I think it might work. What if I shim this? And that. Oh. Need more fingers, but we're getting close. Man, behind the scenes, I don't know how to make it any easier for you.
I know it. I love it. All right, you like it?
I think so.
Okay.
You got a nice gap, you got clean metal.
Oh, Yeah.
I guess the only thing I could do is turn it for you, but it's kind of stuck in the vise. Seems we got ahead of ourselves.
We did.
We did. We forgot our people.
Oh, yeah.
You gonna tell them about this hole you burnt my pants down here?
That wasn't me. That wasn't my fault.
That was you. I think it's even on camera.
Watch yourself.
Well, yeah, I watched myself burn. All right. So we need a kickstand on this thing because we want to protect. The most expensive part of this whole operation is probably that blade. So now we unhook this thing in the field.
That's the whole thing you had to buy.
So whenever we unhook this thing in the field or we're storing it, we want to make sure our blade's up out of the dirt mud and protected. So what we come up with is we end up getting just a cheap trailer jack, and we're going to weld a nipple here on the side. Is that what it described that?
Yeah.
So basically the way this is going to work is with the way the holes are drilled in that, we can store this blade vertically either way.
Yeah.
So it don't matter if it's on the 120 or the 210, this will work.
Yeah.
But we have concerns about it being stored right here in proximity to the blade. So that's why we made an extra one of these. Where's the other one at? Did we already lose it?
Yeah, we done lost that.
Oh man, we're going to make two of them now.
Well, you had it over here. Oh, here it is.
Oh, there we go. So basically we made a solid one to go here. So if it takes a hit or if a tree gets into it, shouldn't damage it, right?
No, shouldn't damage
Then
it.
we'll take the cheapo depot China one and weld it down there somewhere, and that way we can relocate the jack in a safe location, and we ain't got to worry about it getting damaged.
Correct.
So we got lines on there. I got them centered up. It looks like you cut that pretty true. I know you need to tweak you up just a little bit. Hold on. I know what you're going to do. I don't have my gloves on. Okay, now I'm ready.
All right, where do you want me to tack it first?
Tack it over on your side.
My side? All right, eyeball.
Okay, we're still squared up this way. Look, I don't know how crucial this is, to be honest with you. Or maybe a 16th too far that way. I don't know if it matters, does it?
What, that way or this way?
Oh.
No. It doesn't matter there.
Weld it. All right, another piece. So I almost grabbed that, then I realized it was hot. I don't have the proper gloves on, so just give it a little pat. Another piece installed. You know, we were originally talking about storing that piece somewhere in this area here, but I think we need to hold off on that and go ahead and bolt the axle back up, because there may be a chance we can store it on the axle, which would even be more
out of the way.
Protected.
Protected, yeah.
All right, I think the next thing we need to do, I'm kind of dreading this because I hope it goes well.
I am too.
The next thing we need to do is reinstall the axle.
Is it still considered an axle?
Well, we'll reinstall our rotating allowing device.
There we go. That's
We gotta come up with an acronym for that. That's too long. I can't say that. What was it?
We don't have to have a DOT
rotating.
on that.
What would that be? Rotating allowing device. ASD.
Yeah. Yeah.
We need to install our ASD.
You know, have.
No, that's not right. Rotating.
Have Officer Hoover come up and do our DOT
It's not ASD. It's RAD.
Oh, rotating. Yeah.
Yeah, RAD. You about screwed that up. We need to install our RAD.
Yeah.
We had a few more
Okay,
pieces.
let's just stick
We
with
had a few more pieces.
Axle's easier.
We had a few more pieces in the right order. We'll have a radio. Yeah, let's just stick with axle. It's much simpler. All right. We need to get that. So the next thing we need to do is get this reinstalled. Hopefully it still fits on there.
Yeah.
And then from there, we need to figure out our rotating assembly lock, and we need to get our couplers on.
Are we working on a groove? Are we working on an axle? Or are we working on a
This
whipsaw? What we're working on
This
here.
is keeping me occupied while you're over doing your welding stuff. Well, we still got this to be determined whether that ordeal works. So, all right, it's hooked to the tractor, so we can rob this.
See that?
That's so close. Oh, look at that.
Oh, that's the easiest it ever went on. The welding helped it out.
That is awesome.
Huh.
That was flawless.
Yeah.
All right, let's bolt it down as far as it decides to go somewhere.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. I mean, in some ways this looks completely ridiculous just to turn a saw blade. And in other ways it looks freaking awesome.
Yeah. We're true artists.
I think this is more impressive than the tile plow.
I'm agreeing.
There's a lot more details in this.
Yeah.
Of course, when we built the tile plow, there's a lot of details we should have been paying attention to. We
Yeah,
didn't know we were
there we
supposed to be
were.
paying attention to. All right, here's what I'm thinking. This is the side. We're thinking this will probably get ran on the 120 the most. So we're going to put the coupler on this side of this because that's going to have our braking mechanism on top. Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah, you said you wanted it on, you'd rather have it on top, so.
Right.
Now it'll be on bottom with the 210, but you should use the 120 most of the time.
That's what I'm thinking. It's most likely going to be a 120 deal. So here's what I'm thinking. You want to go ahead and we'll get the coupler all tacked up for the 120. And then while you're welding it out, I will make an attempt to figure out how we're going to do our brakes. Sound like a plan?
Sounds like a plan.
Well, my behind the scenes coupler number one is all tacked together. Looks like she's ready to accept the 120.
Yeah.
Or any machine with 60 millimeter pins and a pin grabber coupler. So one thing I noticed, if you stand back here and look at it, is that coupler is definitely going to be higher than the drum, which the other coupler is going to even be bigger. So basically that coupler will be our foot on this end. We got the foot there, so we should safely, stably have this thing up off the ground or be able to store safely. There's still people out there mad at us we didn't build a cradle for the tile plow to store it in.
Oh, yeah.
I don't know if we'd use it. That'd be so damn big to move around. You have that piece of equipment just to move in.
Yeah.
Okay, well, You got a little bit of welding ahead of you. I'm gonna go round up some pieces and parts and try to get a plan on building our brake assembly.
Yep.
Let's party on. Aaron's going to town welding that on that, man. Looking good. Look at it. It's hot. I've been rounding up parts to make our brake assembly. And what I got in mind, I like to use like a cam over device so it's just quick and easy. I think the best way to do that is going to be to modify one of these old snap boomers. I think we can make this work to accomplish what we need to, but before we do that, the way this slack adjuster is set up is the brake chamber was mounted here and it pushed on that. We need to, you having issues over there?
I beat me down my glove.
You got brand new gloves on for the third day in a row.
Do some overhead welding.
All right, good news, Aaron survived. What I was trying to say is the way this is set up is made for the brake chamber to push on this to activate it. We need to make it to where we can pull on it. So I think the easiest way to do that is going to be to take this slack adjuster off. Hoping he's throwing stuff at us. We can modify that at a different angle. Oh, now the phone's ringing. Modify that when we're pulling on it instead of pushing on it. All right, guys, good morning. It is actually Saturday. We bled over into the next day. Had a few things had to take care of yesterday, but Aaron got this entire coupler welded out. It looks absolutely awesome. I'm going to try to take advantage of a little bit of peace and quiet this morning and figure out this brake assembly. I'm not 100% sure I left you guys off at, but let me get you kind of caught up to speed. So I want to make this quick and easy and basically no tools required. So my original thought was trying to repurpose one of these snap boomers, which is one of these knuckle buster things here. And let me try, I guess to use one of these, let me try to explain how this works. So this is the boomer in basically the locked position. And the way this works is it cams over and this pin right here ends up lower than that pin right there. So whenever you're pulling through to get this to unlock, you got to take the lever, raise this pin above that pin, and it does what they call cam over, and it releases or keep itself locked. Contrary to popular belief, these things actually work very well if used in the proper situation. You can't use them for like track equipment or anything that don't have any movement, but like rubber tired equipment, smaller equipment, a lot of different things. These things actually work really well, and I've never personally had one of the good ones ever come loose on me. I know some of the cheaper ones may pop loose, but it all has to do with the placement of all this. So what I'm trying to say is it don't matter how we line this up with this, even if it's this way here, the whole trick is these pins right here, their alignment. So it don't matter if this is pulling this way or this is pulling this way, we're still gonna get the cam over effect. So where are you going with that there, Perfect? What are you thinking? So I actually had to go to town this morning and realized that boomer's probably too big, and the local farm store had this little bitty guy here for like $9. And as you guys can see, it's a very, very similar setup. It's just a whole lot smaller, which I think is going to do what we're going to do. I think the rated capacity on this is 400 pounds, which 400 pounds pulling on a lever on that slack adjuster is going to be plenty of force to do what we need to do. So what I'm thinking, let me sit you guys over here. I'll kind of give you a little bit of a rundown of what I got in mind. So you can barely see it down there. This is the factory slack adjuster. We're going to continue to use that slack adjuster because this will be just that, our adjusting device. I'm going to rotate that down a little bit, bring a bar across. So now we lift up that bar, we will actuate that brake. Now I'm going to do that, I believe, by taking, let me make sure I get this right. Hold on here a second. Too many hooks going on. So if I cut this hook off right here and weld this straight to that, whenever I cam this over, it's going to raise up on that bar, and then I get my pin split right here, which should keep that tight, and that lever right there will be all that's in our way as far as release it and tighten it, and that should be all protected pretty doggone well. So I think with that being said, we can eliminate these brackets. We were keeping them because we thought we may end up using them. I think we're going to get rid of those. So we'll make those disappear, and then we'll probably build our arm for our slack adjuster, and then we'll get this thing mounted. Long story short, I like the direction this is going. That is all cleaned up nicely, basically back to a blank slate. So the next thing we need to do is get our slack adjuster reconfigured, I guess, is the best way to put it. So the way this thing works, there's a screw right here. It's actually an adjustment. There's basically a gear in here that turns those splines inside, and it does just what it sounds like it does. It adjusts the brakes on the truck. What this rod right here is for is if this thing actuates far enough, it catches a little click, it automatically adjusts your brakes. Some work better than others, but long story short, we do not need automatic adjusting brakes on this thing. So we're probably just gonna go ahead, cut this rod off and eliminate it, get it out of the way. What I do need to do is extend this out so it'll reach the other side of the axle. We got this random piece of metal here we cut off, looks like a piece of C-channel. So we're gonna cut that off, basically extend that out to reach the other side of the axle. Then we'll put that apparatus all back on there, and we'll have a good idea where to put that cam lock boomer at. So let's get this reconfigured. We'll head back over there and see if we can get this system to work. All right, guys, there it is. Our lever is a little bit on the long side. That's all right, because we will trim it after we figure out what we need. But in theory, this should go on here, like so. And if I raise this up, it actuates our brake over there. Isn't that just nifty? All right, so I want to keep this tucked in as tight as I can to this axle, because the tighter we can keep it tucked in, the less likely it is to get damaged. So what I'm kind of thinking is we'll probably maybe just tack this off somewhere right in this area, which is as high as I can go, but still get everything to miss, because whenever this is in the lock position, that chain or cable or whatever we decide to use is going to go right down through here. So we got to make sure we need enough room in here for all that to happen. But before we do all that, I think I'm going to modify, I don't know why this thing's got this cheapo hook on it. I think we're going to modify this into an actual eyelet, and that way we can put some sort of clevis or a hook, or just make it a much more useful end than this, because whatever we do, we want to make sure there's nothing open so it can come unhooked and it stays hooked up at all times. Not a huge safety concern if this brake comes unlatched, but we don't want to give it the opportunity to do that either way. Not the absolute prettiest thing in the world, but it will work. It is important that the hook is on this side to make sure we get our cam lock system to work. So I think the next thing we need to do is figure out where this needs to be and get it tacked off in yonder area somewhere. And then we may just kind of stretch something generic between the two to make sure it's going to work the way we think it's going to work. I like it. Hopefully that'll hold long enough to do a test run. See if this is gonna work. Looking at this over here, making sure I'm not missing anything obvious, guys. I want to make this as simple and as durable as possible with as few pieces in it as I can, but inevitably it's gonna have to have a few moving parts. So I got this chain repair link here, put it on. I wanted to make sure whenever I closed it, I was concerned it was maybe going to interfere with our bracket up here. But it looks like that's gonna work pretty good. I probably even could have went a size smaller, but all in all, that works out well. So I think what I'm gonna do is, instead of having a bunch of random chain links and different things in there, I've got this old cylinder here. I'm gonna cut this bracket off the end, just weld one link to the top of it, which should go in that hole, which should allow us to put that on there just like that. Nice little simple setup. Should give, actually I'll hang about right there. Should give us plenty of length. And we've got all kinds of adjustment over here in our slack adjuster. So the length of this, as long as it's long enough, is not extremely crucial about where it needs to be. And with all that being said, I can cut this off here, drill a hole in it for that to go there, and we got a chance. It might work. Let's keep going. All right, I believe we officially got all of our pieces and parts made. Now it's just a matter of getting this thing assembled. I'm hoping it works the way I think it's gonna work. Goes there. This will go here. So far, so good. And then this will go here. Oh, you're gonna be a pain in the butt, are you? Oh, look at that, would you? Look at beauty. Now the question is, will it work? Oh, I think it's gonna work. I think I need to back off my adjustment just a little bit. Oh no. Look at that. Look at that. That is perfect. I love it. Did you come out to help?
No.
Why not? All right, check this out, Gunner. We got a fully operational brake system. I ended up making a few little gussets to go in right there just to make sure that thing stays put. We may end up throwing a few shims in this thing just to hold everything centered up when we call her all good, but look at that. Works, don't it? I like it. All right, you know the last thing we gotta do? I just told you.
Put that thing down there.
Exactly. You listen about as good as Aaron. You know that? See if you can turn that.
Turn what?
Turn this. Turn that to the bottom.
Huh?
Turn it. Here, hold
Like
this.
this?
If this thing works as planned, we should be able to turn this If we want it to stop, see how it keeps turning?
Yeah.
Off the brake, look at that. Now this brake. Isn't that thing a beauty? Uh-oh. We gotta go the other way though. Look at that. All right, let's get this air cover plate built. All right, guys, there it is. That is the last major piece to be fabbed up on this. Are you playing football? What was that? Air ball.
I made that.
Air ball. We're gonna let Aaron show back up Monday. I've got everything just tacked together. That way he can weld everything out, including what's on here. But that is pretty much the gist of it. We still got some plumbing to do and a few little small bracket items. We may end up putting actually putting a lifting eye on this. Now we got all of our weight on here, our center of gravity, but we can't end this video without figuring out, what are you doing? We can't end this video without figuring out if our PTO shaft's gonna work. So we're gonna throw it on here real quick, see if this thing spins, see if the broom works, and we're gonna call this one a wrap. All right, Gunner, you think this is gonna work?
What?
Shaft, me and Aaron kind of did some finagling. Let this work. So let's see if it goes on. You going?
Yeah.
There it is, it's on. All right. I gotta tighten this down. Did you get it?
You want it? It's in there.
Get in there. A little more. All right, hold out. Don't move. All right, go down slowly. Going. Go up. Go up. Go up. Make sure we got all the clearances we need here. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. See if it works. That is running perfectly true. It's got one problem, we're going the wrong way. There's gotta be a way to turn it around. Well, guys, I guess we'll call this one step forward and 2 steps back on this project. The good news is our PTO shaft worked absolutely flawlessly. The bad news is we've got a bearing that no longer exists right here, and we're spinning the wrong direction, but doing some quick studying, that gearbox is made to be mounted upside down or right side up, depending on where you have the vent or the drain plug. I think if I turn it over and turn it, it'll get that to turn the other way around for the PTO shaft. It's got to work one way or another, and we're going to round up a bearing. But that's going to have to wait for another day. At least we're one step closer in the right direction. I guess we could use it that way. We'll just be throwing all this stuff up on the tractor. But the main thing is, the main project is coming along super nice. This all looks absolutely awesome. I cannot wait to give this thing a try and just hope it works as good as what it looks. If it works as good as what it looks, we're going to be in tip-top shape. The other thing is, I've got another crazy idea to even adapt this thing to make it even more universal than what it is now. But that's going to be another day. That's going to be another video. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this one. If you did, give it a big old thumbs up. Want to make sure you don't miss out on what this thing looks like when it's all said and done. If you haven't already, consider subscribing. We definitely appreciate it. Catch you on the next one. Bye.